Okay, and welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time in Endless Legends, where we're going to try to get the city set up. First thing we're going to do here is we're going to evaluate some heroes. So first let's look at our current hero. We know our current hero is a Broken Lord's hero. Mostly I'm looking at stuff that can be a little bit randomized. So the army defense boost and the dust efficiency here can be random. We got 2 and 2, so he's a little bit defensive focused for his army. He has some bonus efficiency for a city if he was a governor. So that's something to evaluate when we go into these leaders here. These heroes we can have. So there's a couple different options we can go with. We can go pick up a guy to be the governor instead of the leader of army, or we can pick a guy up to be the leader of the army, so we can free that guy up to be the governor. We are dust-centric, so we probably do want to free up ability to get more dust. So this guy, for example, is Infantry Slayer. We can come and see his faction tree. This is the Haunts. This is actually one of the minor faction leaders. He's more focused around science, so he's probably not what we want. Yeah, very science-focused. Though, if you were playing a science-focused playstyle, he'd probably be pretty useful for you. Although he doesn't have... Oh, he has Science Boost 1. A lot of the Necrophage heroes are going to be... they'd probably be good for combat, right? So, Army Attack Boost 1, Army Damage Boost 2, Infantry... so this guy's probably going to be pretty good for combat, right? He'd be good for attacking and defending. They're a bit more food-centric governors, which is obviously not what we want. So we'd only be picking one of these guys up if we were to use him as a military hero. That necessarily wouldn't be the worst of choice. So defense on the hero, so you probably take up the one rung because you can get past that. Life on units, I think that applies to the entire army. Extra accessory slot's not bad. Defense on units, that applies to the entire army. This is class, so this is going to be the infantry, so this is basically an infantry hero. And then the last one up here is immunity to the movement penalties during winter. That wouldn't be the worst, but get that on any infantry hero. So this is a cultist. This is also an infantry hero. The cultists are a little bit more focusing on sort of city governance with their heroes. Tree line, so you get broad spectrum bonus to all different pop types depending on what they're doing. Remember, the cultists normally only have one city, so the pops in their city, they're going to have one really big city, so maximizing the quality of the pop work in there is pretty good. It's pretty broad spectrum, pretty influence-based. Something we could do, though he's only got influence boost 1, so he's not that good. Though, exit the chosen 3, got industry boost 2. Probably not what we're looking for. Wild Walker heroes here are... Well, this one's army boost, damage boost. That one would be decent for army. This one's industry boost. Their faction tree is mostly assignment cooldowns, so they can move their heroes around a lot, and then industry and forest. Although that upkeep on cities is pretty nice. So it's a very industry-focused tree. All their heroes are also likely to be archers, so you get the archer class tree instead of the infantry class tree. Which is maybe not what we want. Yeah, it looks like we're probably going to do a pick up a general right now, because it looks like none of these guys are dust-centric, so I don't really necessarily want to put any of them in charge of the city. Oh, so this is a support. So this is the support tree, for example, so bonus defense on units, reinforcement positions, attack on units, initiative on units, life on units. So that's actually pretty good if you wanted to buff army. Well, this guy, on the other hand, this guy's not actually very good at leading an army. His main specialty is food boost with a very weak army boost. army boost 1. That goes up to 3 from the RNG. And then the dragon stuff is food on rivers, which if we got a river, but we don't use food. Vision on flying units. We're not going to run any flying units anytime soon. Influence. The dragon are very influence related. Adds friendly banner capacity on hero. Prevents the army from being attacked by roaming. Yeah, so that's probably not what we want. Slavery? If government increases the per value for food industry for each pacified village. Okay, that's not quite what we want. We're not putting these guys in governor. Army attack, sharp sense, army damage. We could do that guy. That'd be army attack 1, army boost 2. Army health boost 1 is a little bit tempting. You got army health boost 2. Although maybe I should be thinking more about attack. We want our guys to actually hit. Because our guys are pretty tanky as a side effect of being Dust Lords. Plus 10 flat, plus 30% attack. Okay. Yeah, I might grab one of these guys just to be the replacement general. Let's pick up Continue the Chosen 3. And then we'll be on the lookout. We'll check in here in 7 turns, see if we can find a Dust Lord or a Roving Clans leader. Those are probably the ones we want. So we're gonna... Well, we'll heal up. We're going to unassign the hero. Because we're going to basically move him to the city. And we're going to assign Tinu the Chosen. Of course, I need to equip Tinu the Chosen up with some decent equipment. We'll run him Claws. I'm going to run him... with the titanium armor. Movement speed and vision. So he has good seeing. Then in our city, we're going to assign our old hero as the governor. We are going to modify his equipment too. So in with the utility items, there will be things that provide plus bonuses to yields on workers. So we want to take... This guy obviously is a governor who's not going to move. So we're going to replace his movement 1 with plus 1 yield on dust. There's also some in here that have improved aura. Sometimes. Though I'm not seeing any of them right now. Oh, there's army damage, army initiative. We could technically put that on the guy who's leading the combat. But we'll do this. So this will go ahead and give a better income for the city, and we'll go ahead and give this guy a better equipment. For defending the city. Yeah. So we're getting the effects of his dust efficiency 2. So plus 2 dust per person, plus 1% dust per hero level. He's hero level 4. And we also have plus 1 dust on river terrain. And we'll probably take that one. We may not go straight up. Instead max these 2 out right away. We just get XP from everything that gets built in the city. And I think to speed up our colonization here, we're going to go buy out the settler. And you're level 1, right? Yeah. Skill points to spend yet. We do have enough people here to build a borough street, so we will go ahead and do that. There's a little bit more dust in industry. Obviously, we will start getting the settler moving. We probably want the settler to be maybe not straight up on the coast, but we'll set him like here. Maximize the river access he has, and then he can expand towards the sea later. And that's the Delvers we've been asked to attack. To move the Chosen, continue. The Chosen goes first and delivers a deadly blow of 87 damage. Takes a big blow back in exchange. Already finished one off. We have a little bit better initiative than the Dredge here. I think the Dredge is the unit name of the faction of the Delvers. There we go. So one thing you'll notice is there isn't a heal on our hero here. So because this is not a Dust Lord hero, he can actually heal without having to spend dust on him, which is one of the reasons to potentially grab a leader that is not a Dust Lord. Oh, I don't have the action to attack. I'll have to wait until next turn. We want to maintain that plan. Little tempting to stretch to that. No, I think I have the influence. We'll do that. We might not be able to keep that, but we can do that for one cycle. Extra line of sight, which is nice. And if we buy stuff out with money, the stuff we buy out will be cheaper. Okay, then we have the initiative advantage here. Start off, our guy moves into the forest and attacks. Delivering a heavy blow. His defense is a little bit lacking, I'm finding. Taking a little bit too much damage in the counterattacks, but otherwise it's doing decent. Yeah, I think the change in generalship is definitely proving useful here. The attack bonus is much helping with actually getting good hits on the enemy. And of course, our fleshy hero here, he has Last Stand, so if he dies and his army survives, he comes back. So if we have anyone we want to die in the army, it's him. Okay, so we've pacified that location. That was our quest to defeat that army. So if we can just get back to the town over here, we can pacify them by talking to them. There Here we go. 10 Moonleaf. And we should actually use that Moonleaf before we set up the city. Your luxury cost, I don't remember which tab this is. It's this one. Your luxury cost is based on the number of cities you have. So it's 5 plus the number of cities you have times 5. So we got 1 city, so it's 5 plus 5, so 10. So we can activate the Moonleaf bonus here, and we can activate, in this case, the Tenant Bones bonus here. Once we set that settlement up, the cost will jump to 15, and we wouldn't be more expensive to do. And we probably will actually get that set up next turn. So pacified villages, minor settlement villages on your territories provide an extra worker if they've been rebuilt. So we pacified one, but we did it by burning it down, so we'll have to rebuild that one to get the worker back from there. But that is an extra free worker there. Not bad. I think we'll grab an extra population here. Bring us up to 6 workers, making dust. Oh, and this zone has 2 gold deposits. That's good. That definitely lowers the value of coming over here for the gold, because there's only 1 gold over there as far as we know. And really, 2 gold is enough to support quite a few cities. Because what I think the luxury cooldown is 10 turns. Right, so the 2 deposits will be enough to support like 3 cities. If we're getting one per deposit. And we're set up right here on the nice river, providing a lot of dust. The dust dredge here is going to provide 2 on the river. Granted, it's only during summer, so that's something to be aware of. So this is going to provide 10 more dust, so that's about 14 turns for an investment. No, I should probably, let's rush out the mill foundry, because that'll get the construction going a lot faster. And I can still afford to rush out the dust dredgers, so we'll do that as well. Explore here, explore there. We're going to see what's over here. I haven't necessarily seen a lot of luxuries, other than the gold around. Border is a convenient thing. Now we share a common frontier. We keep an eye on each other. We already shared a common frontier. Maybe they didn't notice that we shared a common frontier already. We'll heal our guys. That takes up their actions, so we won't be able to start new fights, but that's fine. We can still surge. Oh, that's not, that's the gold deposit we're going to build. You have reached level 2. Okay, we're gonna run this guy mostly as general, so we're gonna grab the defense here. We're gonna actually work our way all the way up to the top here, and then we're gonna backfill the effects that affect army units. So the life and the defense at that point. Burning things down is always a valid solution to life's problems, says Twitch chat. Sometimes it is. Sometimes it can be counterintuitively not what you need at a given time. Okay, so we're going to explore the ruins, get some dust. I'm going to deal with the rebels here, the locals here. Now we do have the initiative advantage, so we'll deploy up close and personal because we know this is going to be a fight where we have the initiative. It does 62 and takes 61 in return. Our units do, our Dust Lord units do have Soul Leech, so they do heal if they are the ones who deliver the killing blow. Of course, our Fleshy Guy doesn't have that, so the Fleshy Guy doesn't heal if he kills things. Mutually assured destruction. Good thing our hero respawns. Okay, we're gonna cycle some more turns, get some more stuff built. Well, I'm gonna have to. This is probably where we're gonna build our cellars from. Be a little bit rushed to get the cellars out already. Enough money. Let's start buying some stuff. So we'll get the Emperor Melt done. We'll get gold extractors up so they can start extracting. I could even afford to buy the sewer system. Sure. So the Empire approval determines the bonuses on Dust and Science. The City approval determines the bonuses on Food and Industry, and a little bit on Security. If you have a low City approval, the City... Security doesn't affect... it depends on what expansion you have. The Espionage expansion is not currently turned on, so security is not really that important here. But obviously your cities are not too worried about reporting the spies in the city if they're not particularly happy about you. So we got a bunch of buildings done, so we're now going to get some gold coming in every turn. Once again, this is a fight with the dredge from the Delvers. Our guys shouldn't have a problem with it. The most comical thing is that our hero is probably going to get himself clapped on the first turn. Yep, he does like 62 damage. He only has 16 hit points left, so he promptly goes down after the retaliation attack, but he'll be back at the end of the fight. Okay. So we may want to get over there and parlay with them, so don't have to keep doing that over and over and over again. But for the moment, that's dealt with. We're going to want some people here, so let's pop some people into the city so we get some income. Great income from Dust. I could put these guys onto industry so they finish the Delvers quicker, but we're not really in a rush for that. Let's also upgrade the seller. We're not going to run one out right away, but you could, to keep them cheap, not give them like good equipment. Right, so we're going to... Yeah. We're not going to upgrade their weapons, we're not going to upgrade their armor. They're not really good for fighting anyway. But one thing we will upgrade is the movement speed item. We'll move them up from 4... We moved them up from 4 to 5, we're now moving them from 5 to 6. Because you want your souls to get where they're going quickly, hopefully. So, winter is coming. It will come sometime in the next 1 to 9 days. Obviously, the longer you go without winter, the more likelihood it is the next turn. We'll parlay here. Pacify, collect enough dust to buy the allegiance and cohesion of this argument to people. Return to the village when you're ready to give them 100 dust. I am ready. You actually need to bring 10 glass steel to the other one. We can do that. So we need to go over there with 10 glass steel, and then we'll have the region pacified. This region has some glass steel, but it's always a pretty boring region. Because at this point we have enough information on the region, we actually know what's in it. Sisters of Mercy. It's an adamantine. That's the next tier of resources. We'll parlay with you to get you to calm down, so they're pacified now. Although I'm maybe not going to colonize here, so I've maybe pacified it for the neighbors. But that happens. I'll level you up. Or life on all units, so that affects him and his army. Which reminds me, we haven't fought this turn, so can the army heal? Anyway, we don't have enough population here to grow. It's available every 2, so we'd have to grab another person to grow it again. That's actually not the worst of ideas. Yeah, let's grab an extra population to grow it again. We'll have to go up to 8 to grab the next one. Although the next one will be approval positive instead of approval negative, so that's a bonus in its own right. More dust there. I want to get a little bit of idea of what this territory looks like. I actually want to figure out who blue is. So we know these guys are the Volters, Mizari. Volters the reskin of the Mizari. And we know these guys are the Draken. Alright, I want to know who these guys are. If they're the cultists, I might take some preemptive reaction against them. They might not be the cultists. I tend to find the cultists make bad neighbors. Yeah, okay, and we do have the new public library. Put that in the queue before the Bureau Street. Yeah. Same over here. We'll do it for the Delvers. Or we could just buy that right now. Yeah, that'll help with the teching. We'll just buy it right now. So we'll see how much the teching goes down. So it'll be 5 turns before the labs come into effect. We'll see how much it jumps to after the labs are done. Okay, so it looks like it sped our science up enough that it dropped 5 turns of research into 4. So that's a pretty decent speed up. And our Moonleaf and Titan Bones have dropped off. Okay, so that's actually saying it's a lot more. So it didn't drop 5 to 4. Because that would be like a 25% bonus. On the margin, it was actually a 75% bonus because we lost the plus 50% from the Moonleaf. So yeah, that was buying that was not a dumb idea. That was actually a pretty smart idea. And we're still happy. Although we don't have enough of any of the resources yet to turn anything on. Now we have enough gold that we can sustain the gold one basically indefinitely once we turn it on, even if we have another city. Even more so if we take that city over. But from an approval standpoint, we'll pop in here. You get 60 base. I'm taking -10 from a city tile, -10 from a city expansion. Is it 10 each? It's 10 each. And then plus 20 from the sewer expansion, yeah. So we're sitting around at 60. But you're down. Those should sum up to. Okay, so one of you is being considered. Oh, actually, okay. Expansion disapproval. So the one of our fields here. There we go. You've got plus 10. So plus 10, -10, -10 sums up to -10 from city tiles. We have -10 because we have another city. And that also applies to the other city. It has -10 because we have another city. It has sewer systems, so plus 20. It doesn't actually have any boroughs yet, so it doesn't have any difficulties in the boroughs yet. So we don't want that to obviously go real terrible, because the bonus there is providing us more dust. Second winter has arrived. In this case, it's health regen on Empire, so this is basically the first winter to us. Because the only person we have that heals normally is this guy. Although it has halved our speed, so instead of walking 6 tiles, we only walk 3. Although if we didn't have our speed upgrades, we'd be doing 2, so the upgrades aren't completely lost on me. We're still making decent dust income. Genomic labs will finish in 3 turns. That's plus 2 science on terrain with science, which is actually most of our terrain. Most of the boring terrain. If it's got forests on it, it doesn't have any dust. And down here has got the grasslands. Looks like there's some down here in science. So we should get a decent amount of science when we get the genomic labs done as well. Give me some warning that the Empire plan is going to update in 6 more turns. We have more cities, so the plan is more expensive. Something to note, we do have enough to connect with the gold bonus now, so we'll do that. The main thing the gold bonus is doing is reducing city upkeep by 50%. So for us, that's actually decently strong. Each city normally costs, I think it's a base of 10. And then we have some buildings with upkeep, is what I suspect the math is coming from. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4 improvements. I think it's a 10. Yeah, that's it. Oh no, 10 plus 3 for 13 divided by half. Okay. Math's out. That's not when you were doing the math right. And we're going to build, after we're done with the Delver here, we're going to build a cellar. Again, not sure where I'm going to send it. Hopefully we find someplace that's decent to put it in before it gets built. We'll grab another worker there. Probably go up to 10, or go up to 8 workers there pretty quickly. So we'll be ready to build the next district after this one's done. And there's our 12 technologies from Research Area 1. So we've picked up the Quivering Circlet. Plus 777 on cities, only equipable on Broken Lord heroes. So, Quest 3, Perilous Frontiers. Imperial necessities mean that you must expand your empire even by means you do not like. Colonize, pacify, and be watchful. Colonize a new region, settling in an area providing at least 13 dust to get access to the pertinent chapel. Plus 1% Broken Lord unit regeneration per pacified village on Broken Lords. The power of the Marquis grows daily. There are those who whisper in my ear that I should bring him into my inner circle, even make him the king's hand. Our history is rich with examples of warring factions coming together through unexpected alliances. Those who recommend this conveniently forget there are just as many stories of realms that were torn apart by unions as ill-considered as this one would be. While the nobles and populace watch Martin de Illand de Saluzzo, I will push ahead with my own plans, explore and find sources of dust, gain greater control over the nearby regions and peoples. That is how I see our peoples are living, not by turning into not turned in armor leeches. A new city is good, and new watchtowers will help us hold it. Perhaps we can find a way to convince my subjects that we can survive and grow without this obscene feeding. Perhaps we can explore. We will find new artifacts like the Quivering Circlet, which now throbs with power that we've restored and now try to understand. Vincius, the artificer, has also come up with some interesting notions and unexpected ideas. He believes there's a link between the Quivering Circlet and the Marquis' pendant. His studies show that both share repetitive patterns of incomprehensible runes and show similar reactions to the presence of light and dust. So one thing I'll actually do is we'll give up our line of sight bonus here for the plus bonus here on the leader. Oh, and I do have the ability to start building the genomic labs. We can get them reasonably cheap, so we can basically buy both of them in right away. And then we need to pick a new tech. So we've been in Era 2 for a while, and we've just been... Because we had a quest to get more Era 1 stuff, we can grab more Era 1 stuff. I do want to pick up building buyout and unit buyout, so I'm going to pick up prisoners, slaves, and volunteers. I'm going to want access to the resource and stockpiles portion of the market, so we're going to pick that up. Not necessarily in this order. I'm going through all the things I want first. There's no real dust stuff in this tier, as you can see. We're going to wait until tier 3 to get more dust stuff. This is where the food would be, if there was food here. It's the same thing as the food one normally here. I'm probably not going to go on my way to get alliances with the other players, so we'll probably not pick up diplomats and mounts. We only need to pick up 6 techs to get to the next era, so we don't necessarily need to go out of our way to pick up a lot. We probably do want to pick up alchemical armor. The trinkets we have on our hero, for example, come from this, and this would be us level 2 versions of those. There's a possibility for the quest giving the level 3 version. We'd really like that. No guarantee that we're going to pick that up. We are dust-centric. I suppose the roads are maybe the closest thing to a dust-centric bonus we can pick up. So we'll try to pick those up. We probably want approval. That'll help us go a little bit wider. And the question is, do I go industry, science, or influence here? I think we'll go influence here so we can support the empire plans going forward. So that's the 6 I probably want. What is the order I want to take these in? Let's do the coinage last. I do kind of want this first, because as you notice, I've been buying things out. Although I don't necessarily have anything to buy out right now. So maybe we do delay that until we have something to buy out. In which case... Chemical armor, yeah, we can immediately apply that if we have that. The road's probably worth grabbing relatively early. Let's do road, prisoners and slaves, the approval, glory the empire, and we'll finish up in the imperial coinage. We're going into tier 3. And then tier 3 will probably start off very early on with the dust stuff. So that's basically the imperial mint, but twice as good. Of course, it costs glass steel, and it's a little more industry cost. That is +4 dust per worker, working dust, so that's really strong for us, at least. That's probably a little bit weaker than that one, honestly. We got new luxuries and new strategics pop up in tier 3. More trade routes on cities, so if we got the road network up, that'll be good. We can reduce the expansion disapproval. There's a bunch of useful stuff in tier 3. So we want to get there relatively quickly. Okay, let's cycle the turn then. So we've got move orders on our guys. We haven't moved yet. I do want to know what's in this territory. This is one of the territories we might try to contest if it's got some decent stuff in it. The alternative is maybe come down here. This one doesn't really have any really decent stuff in it, but we've got glass steel, and we've got a pretty nice city settling spot right there between the Wizard's Stone, the Mineral Rich, and the Salt Desert. And we still, it's a 3-village place, so that'll be a pretty good place either way. Okay, let's end the turn. The genomic labs are done, so we're getting more science. And yeah, that contributed a decent amount of science. I think we went from like 6 to 4 turns, so decent science buff there. Now, to be fair, it's maybe not the end of the world if I do settle in a region that doesn't seem to have any resources, because the resources might be later resources. At the same time, it's maybe a little bit of a meh in the short run. I'm hoping the winter will end, obviously before the settler is done. So our hero back in the city has leveled up. We're going to take the +1 on terrain with dust, which is a lot of terrain. Okay, so at this point we can basically rule this place out having any luxury resources from at least the first tier. So yeah, I think unless I go for the one in the gold, I think our next expand is going to be a little potentially boring. Summer has returned, that's good. Bestow 10 spices and 10 moonleaf on this unhappy tribe. I don't have 10 spices for you. I don't know where I'm going to get 10 spices for you. So, actually, is that the... Oh no, that's the tech we are postponing, isn't it? Yes. That tech would allow us to buy some spices. I could buy them off the market. But obviously, we're not going that tech right now. So, they'll be there. What should we do about them for the moment? I still have my actions, so I get to attack them. They're not really in my way right now, so we're gonna not do that. And yeah, I do think this is the cultists. I think I just saw one of the cultist units over there. we're in a fight up against the Driders. These guys are, as you can see, support units, so I'm not actually that scared of them. Oh, we can't deploy them, can we? Okay. I think they've got a bunch of reinforcements coming as well, so this might not go super. Yeah, so it's a 5v4 with our squishy guy up front. They do have range, so this is maybe not going to be the best opening turn for us. As our guys march up, but otherwise don't make it to engage on turn 1. Of course, their support not range, so they don't do the best of damage, apparently. They're finding out. Oh, the terrain and the fact that they're ranged here is giving me a real bad day. Our guys should probably win because they're just tanky enough it's not going to be a problem. Again, the hero might get bumped again, but he'll be back. He respawns. There he goes. Yeah, the terrain is not our friend here. Because we're basically caught in a situation where we can only get one guy to attack, but all three of theirs can attack. I think if we get a decent roll next turn, at least we'll get to attack with everyone. Took that guy out. That should give the space for our guys to actually get in there. Although this is the end of the battle, so that's all the damage we're going to get to do. We got 2 of them for the cost of none of ours, so we'll see the actual bill for the battle after the battle's over. Killed 1 out of each unit, and to be fair, I could start the battle up right again because we still have our action, but we'll just take the heal here. So basically, cost us 187. Dust. Now the line troops are fully healed. And yeah, that is the cultists. They get 1 city. They have mechanics for being able to extract resources from other zones, but they only get 1 city. And some of those mechanics are the reason I probably do not want to leave them alive, but to get rid of them, we will probably want to raise a second army so we have the quantity to deal with them. There's alchemical armor. And that's one of the ways that they are somewhat bad neighbors. You see, they've gone ahead and they've actually made this, converted that tile to the cult. Okay, if we can, we probably want to keep basically the same setup, which we're allowed to, so we'll keep it. Grab an extra one here. That means when the Burrow Street's done, I'll be able to build another Burrow Street. Although the next one won't be very good for dust. It will be somewhat positive for approval, so that'll be fine. Oh, and they have wine. So yeah, I'm very tempted to try to attack them, take their settlement over. We're obviously not going to do that right away, because I need to get the troops to do it, but... They've only got one settlement, so if you can take it, you can bump off one player. Okay, you've leveled up. Take the extra slot on the hero. You have movement again? You do. Okay, maybe going through the forest here is not the best idea. So we got Quicksilver for doing that Explorer. And you will get back to the edge of the forest so we can travel through the much easier to travel through desert. Ooh, emeralds. Yeah, so that probably makes that a good place to set a city up so we can get the emeralds, though. Oh, emeralds and wine, yeah. That would be a gap between the two, so it would be a little unsafe. So we'll have to stabilize the region between, and then... this place in here is not bad for necessarily setting city up, it's just got no luxuries. To share with the rest of the Empire. We're getting attacked. Run away. I'm like, I don't think that's a fight I'm gonna be able to win very easily. Run away. Hopefully we're far enough away that they don't jump on us with quite so many the next time. That might not be the case, in which case I'm going to be sad because we're going to lose the entire army. Yeah. Let's take a heal here so we get our army back to full. You got the Burrow Street done. Let's go ahead and grab the one we need for the upgrade. Otherwise, it's not a particularly great Burrow Street by itself. And then after that, I think we're going to try to build up another 4 more stalwarts. We activate our gold. I do need to kind of pacify that region before we buy out the settler, I suppose. Although I might be settling it this side closer rather than this side. But okay, so the dark green are the necrophages. So we got a couple hostiles in here. The necrophages are promptly attacking us. Okay. Oh, and they have the initiative advantage on us. Honestly, we're probably not gonna have the best likelihood of actually picking who we fight, so we'll do something like that. And then the enemy's really gonna be the one making the decisions on who fights who. Again, as I'm saying, we're not necessarily getting the best ability to pick who we're fighting. We're just fighting who we have to. And they do have disease and, well, they have disease immunity as well, but... So our guys are doing their best. Because our guys are anti-infantry and the most of the enemy army at this point is infantry, we might be able to swing this back around. We'll see. Or maybe if we're lucky, be tanky enough that we can survive the fight. That would work for me as well. Of course, they've got to go do that. Okay. There goes another one of our units. So I do not think we are going to have our units survive, sadly. At least not all of them. There goes one's a disease. Our units have to survive one more turn for the army to survive, which I think the answer is going to be no to that. Oh, we survived with 1 unit intact, which actually might have been worse than surviving with none. Well, I don't know where they... Oh, well, obviously they're over there, aren't they? Okay. So that makes this zone a little bit less, friendly. Looks good. It's just got other problems. It's got other problems. Yeah. Okay, well, we're gonna the Imperial Highway next turn. So go ahead and get that set up. When we're back in fight again. Or they just allow me to walk away? Okay, I'm happy that I'm able to walk away there. Here's I got prisoner slaves and volunteers coming up. So I probably shouldn't buy out the roads until we have that. Because right now that's going to cost 566 to buy. We have enough that we will be able to buy that, but it'll be 25% cheaper if we wait 6 more turns. And the road will help with trade income, right? So we'll effectively hit the 2 cities up and we'll have trade going back and forth between them, which will generate some revenue for us. And then there's maybe a question of whether we actually want to build these as stalwart 4s. To avoid such a humiliating defeat, I think we need to upgrade the stalwarts. We do have access to tier 2 equipment. So the question is, do I want to go titanium or glass steel? Probably the titanium rather than the raw points. Well, also we have more titanium, so we'll hook them up with some better armor. And that doesn't immediately apply to the ones we have in the queue. So we can go and queue them up. Oops. And we'll start with 3, so we'll get the army back up to size. And again, those will be cheaper in 6 turns. So let's not splurge by trying to panic buy troops that we hopefully don't need. And looking at the time, this is probably where I should put the part break in. Things were going swimmingly until that last fight. Granted, things were going swimmingly right up until Blue attacked. Right, Blue attacked and demonstrated, yeah, we got numbers. It's like, okay, we're definitely out of position. And then we got jumped by the Necrophages. Like, oh, we're really out of position. Yeah, this is hard difficulty. There's a debate whether or not we're in the lead, and I think the answer to the debate is no, we're not in the lead. So we're on hard difficulty. We may not win. But this is where we're going to go ahead and end this part, and probably end this stream. If you're watching on YouTube, there should be a part up for you by tomorrow. I believe what was effectively part 3 for this stream, which was the end of Humankind, and the first part of this will be yesterday's stream. Well, it will be yesterday's stream if you're watching this on YouTube, which should actually be 5 days in the future for me, whereas this part that we just recorded should be 6 days in the future. So let me bring up the schedule so I can remind Twitch viewers who are watching what the schedule will be for the next couple of nights. So we just finished up Humankind earlier today. Tomorrow will be Field of Glory Empires as Persia. The day after that will be in Terra Invicta, continuation of the Resistance run. The day after that will be Shadow Empire, and then the day after that will be the continuation of Endless Legends, and us finding out whether or not we've gotten jumped and ruined at this point. We're rich enough, I think I can bounce back, right? I can basically buy out the army at this point. Actually, the army, because we had just upgraded the army is reasonably expensive. But granted, we could still buy out the army. We're still rich enough we could buy out the army. it'd be a bit tight, but weighted turn by the entire army, that would be plausible. That'll be even better with prisoners, slaves, and volunteers. So there's a decent possibility we'll bounce back from where we are. But yeah. If you're watching on Twitch, this is probably your last chance to get any comments responded to while the stream is live. But I'm going to go ahead and do the outro. So if you're watching on YouTube, I hope you've been enjoying. There'll hopefully be another part of this up tomorrow. With that, I wish you all the best of luck and a good time. Catch you all in the next part, and bye for now.